Today we're doing a review on the GRIZZLE EV charger. This is a 40 amp, up to a 40 amp charger. So this thing, as you can see, it says down here, it's made in Canada. It is weatherproof. It can take a direct blast from a garden hose. One of the reasons why I got this charger is because I didn't need any, I guess, extra nonsense involved. I didn't need Wi-Fi connectability or anything like that. I can do everything on my app for the truck. It does have a 24-foot cable, and it is nice and pliable cable in the weather. I mean, it does stiffen up a little bit, but that was one of their selling points, is that it remains fairly flexible when it's cold out. It has a cap that goes over the charging connector. It does also come with this holder to just snap the end into. You know, you can wind up your cord on that, but I kind of just regret putting that up there, because I've got these outlets that are in pretty secure to just wrap the wire up over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this into my truck, and we'll hop in the truck and then talk about a little bit about what I've learned with this GRIZZLE charger. Okay, so we're sitting inside the truck now, and I've got the GRIZZLE connected, and you can see there's a little plug icon showing that it's plugged in, and the truck is running. It's basically just running off of the power that's being supplied to it by the GRIZZLE. So I kind of went over a little bit of you know, why I bought that GRIZZLE compared to some other chargers. And I guess, you know, how they market it is, you know, that it's tough, and it is. It's, you know, it's a thick metal case. It seems to be put together well. It doesn't have any plastic pieces on it, except for where the cords thread into the body of the unit itself. And then I guess, you know, there is plastic at the end. All the cords at the end are on all these chargers are plastic, as far as I know. But, you know, like I said, the cord remains fairly flexible when it's really cold out. We had a cold spell here about a week and a half ago or whatever, 2 weeks ago maybe, and the cord on the charger worked fairly decent. I didn't have to struggle with it too much. And the other thing is that, you know, like this one can take a direct, you know, like hit from the garden hose. So that's a good thing, in my opinion. You know, when you want to spray your house down or whatever, you know, you want to clean the siding off, you don't have to worry about it. So I should go over one of the things right off the bat, though. With all that said, with the robustness of how this is built and that type of thing, you know, I did have a problem though. This is my second one, and so I originally purchased it, and it was $400 with shipping. Purchased it from the company United Chargers. Because at the time that I did purchase, I didn't get it from Amazon, because I was able to find it at the company website about $50 cheaper than what I could get on Amazon. And I think Amazon has caught on to that now, and it seems as of today I was able to find it on Amazon for $3.95, and it's the 19th of February 2023. I guess either way, whether you get it through Amazon or you get it on United Chargers website, about $400. So that's a good price. Anyway, kind of drifting off to what happened here. I did get the first one, and it worked great for 6 days. And on that 6th day, things started going haywire. First, what happened is it started to where, so I have my truck set to charge at 90%, and then it'll stop charging. But then in the morning, let's say if it's during the week, I have a departure time set with the vehicle, And then that kicks the charger back on because it just uses power from your house to warm up the vehicle. And that wasn't kicking in, and I thought, well, maybe it's just a bug, whatever, the app or whatnot, and okay, go out, unplug it, plug it back in, start it working. Then it just started to progressively get more difficult to use the charger, where it would be during a command session where you would tell the charger to stop or the truck to stop charging, whatever. And then you could never get it to restart. And it got to the point where it started giving error codes, and there is one LED light in the middle of kind of like the name GRIZZLE on there, that will flash, and then sometimes you can hear clicking on and off. And they give you, actually they don't give you information, because the one that I got, I didn't have the information. I think I had to look it up. Maybe that was just an oversight on my end. Maybe I misplaced it or whatever, but I did look it up, and there's faults. You're supposed to count the number of flashes corresponding with the color, and whether or not there's buzzing or clicking or that type of thing. It actually makes it kind of difficult for me because I'm colorblind, and I have huge difficulty with little LED lights, whether they're red, green, or yellow. I always wish that people would go away from the LED lights, or if they do LED lights, where it would be a series of lights, where how many lights are on or something like that. I know that creates costs, but I guess that's my rant. Anyway, so it got progressively worse where I had to unplug it, and then that didn't seem to work. Like, it knew that it didn't have power shut down to it or whatever, so then I had to go and unplug or flip off the breaker, then unplug it, and then plug it back in, turn the breaker on, plug it back into the truck, and then it would kick back in. And so I started calling about this to their customer service, and then that turned into, oh, well, you have to go online and you have to tell us what's going on, please send a video. Well, at that point, it started to get really a pain in the butt, because now I got to do a video. I've got to do this when it's happening. It's not happening all the time. That's not really fitting into my day, because sometimes it was happening in the morning before I go to work. So I was getting frustrated with that situation. And then, a couple days after this started, it didn't matter what I did. The charger just went into, like, I don't know if it was like a shutdown mode or if it's a safety, so in case something is wrong, it doesn't, cause a fire or anything like that. It would show that it's ready to charge. It would give you like a green light or whatever, or a blue light. I'm sorry, I screwed that up with the lights, but it would give you the light to correspond with it's ready. And it just didn't work. No matter what I did, after a while, it provided no power. So after talking to customer service and them taking time to get back to me, they did call me back, because you can set that up online, and then asking me to do a video. And you're thinking, oh, the guy that's doing YouTube is having trouble with doing a video for getting this thing taken care of. Well, it's just it's a big inconvenience factor. Like I said, it's just at the wrong time of when you're trying to get this to work. So their customer service, it was very, very frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. It was very difficult. And then when I did send the video, it wasn't the right format of a video. So I guess that's the thing. If you want your customers to try and help diagnose what the problem is, and you're requesting them to send a video, not everybody has the capability to send a video in the correct format with what they have. That's very inconvenient. So I guess maybe that wouldn't be a problem if it was one that's Wi-Fi connectable. Maybe then they'd be able to look at it through the connection with Wi-Fi and diagnose it that way. Let's try that. But anyway, like I said, it was a very painful, difficult process of calling, getting calls back, trying to email, send videos, and I got very frustrated with them. But however, in the end, after about a week of going back and forth, they did send me a new charger in a box with a label to send the other one back. And so far, the second one has been working flawlessly. No problems at all. So during conversation on the phone with the representative from United Chargers, she had said that one of the problems is that every different EV, or sometimes even different models within the same company, it sounds like, may have different communication with the charger to do what it needs to do, and there has to be a firmware update for that. So this is not one of these this isn't like I said, it's not Wi-Fi capable, so it's not like I can open up my laptop, connect to the charger, and send a firmware update to it. So I guess that might be a disadvantage. I don't know if that's how they do it with the ones that they do have that are Wi-Fi capable from Grizzly. But she said that's what the problem was, is that my charger most likely did not have the latest firmware update, but I don't know why it worked for 6 days then. So maybe she was just kind of picking at what she could process together, and from the information that she knows, the most likely scenario, or what, maybe that's how they were experiencing it, that maybe it works for a little while and then it just doesn't stay working for whatever reason. So they know that this is a problem, and that's one of the other things that made me angry, is that they're sending these chargers out knowing that they have a problem, that they may not work for everybody's specific application, but that's not how they're marketed in them. So in my mind, that says to me that, like, this is that's wrong, obviously, to begin with, and I feel like that's an easy coding fix in your website. Not even coding, that's not even coding, website development, I guess, I don't know, where you should just be able to pick what vehicle you have and that type of thing. I know it sounds, maybe I'm making it sound easier than what it really is, but and put in there, maybe whether it's through the VIN, last four of the VIN or something, I don't know, so that they know that the specific charger is going to work with your vehicle, rather than you getting it not working and having to go through the rigmarole of getting it returned. I guess that's an oversight, I think, on their part. There's got to be a better way. If not, then make it updatable, easily updatable with the customer. That charger pulls off the wall with the bracket that it's designed. It comes off real easy. You pull a pin, you lift it up, you pull it out, put a USB port on it. Let's be able to connect it to a computer. Again, those are just my answers from a little bit from the outside looking in and my perspective. Maybe it's just not that easy, I don't know. So anyway, like I said, the second charger has worked flawlessly. Just gotta look at my notes here. So you can get this charger in 40 amps, 32 amps, 24 amps, or 16. So let's back that up a little bit. Each one of these chargers, you'll have that capability to do whatever you want. It is adjustable, but you have to open up the cover and move up and down a series of switches to get it to go from those different app settings if you don't have one of the smart ones. So, for me, I've got the F-150 Lightning. It takes a lot of power. I figure I don't need it any less than 40 amps. It comes preset from the factory. Should that change in the future where I have a different EV, or we get a second EV and I want to use it on that one for whatever reason, I'm okay with opening up the cover and flipping a few switches, because that's basically how you used to program old garage doors, is you would flip those series of switches to the code to what your remote had. It's really that simple of how you used to program garage door remotes. It's nice that it has a 4-foot cable. The other thing that I liked about it is that it is made in Canada rather than you know, some other country or whatever. Not that I have an issue with other countries, I'm just saying Canada or whatever, Canada, they're it's Canada. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Our friends to the north there. So you can get it with the NEMA 650 plug or the 1450. It seems that the 1450 is the most common plug for plug-in EV chargers. And on average, it does charge at 20 miles per hour of charge. The truck regains 20 miles per hour when it's plugged in. It has dipped down to 18 miles per hour all the way up to about 23, 24 miles per hour. Whether that's the truck with the battery condition at that time, whether it's too cold or whatever, or if there's something to do with the electricity. I think it's a little bit of both. It kind of seems like maybe if there's heavy usage, it may slow down a little bit, whether it's heavy usage from my particular house or in my local area where I live, right in that area, that might be causing that. I don't know. You know, so that's a nice upgrade to the travel charger from Ford that you get with this truck, where that one charges at 15 miles per hour. And that does a great job. That charger from Ford has worked flawlessly, whether you have it on 240 or 120. It's nice that you can switch it and do what you need to do with that. Haven't had any issues with that charger. I just wanted something with a little bit more power for when you come home. Let's say you're out Friday night, Saturday night, you're doing whatever you're doing, you come home and you got to go right away in the next morning at 7 o'clock or whatever, or you know, whatever it may be, it doesn't matter. I wanted to have the ability to recoup most of what I've used, if not all of it, which almost every day, no matter what I'm doing, even if I do plug in late at night, I'm set to where I want to be the next day. But with the Ford mobile charger being at 32 amps versus 40, there was a couple of times where when I plugged in late, I didn't have the truck up to where I wanted it to be. Not that I ran out of power that next day or anything like that. It just wasn't, I wanted it to be a little higher than it was. Or if you're having a busy day like that, you go out, you go do something, you use up a lot of energy because you went quite a distance or whatever, or you got a heavy load on the truck. I just wanted to be able to have that quicker recovery time, because you don't know what the day is going to bring, if you're going to need your truck again for whatever reason. So it was nicer to do that, to get about 5 miles per hour more. You know, that doesn't sound like much, but that's quite a bit if you think about, you know, over the course of nighttime, if you plug in at 8 o'clock, go until about 6:30, you know, 10 hours or whatever, that's 50 miles. You know, in the EV world, that's a significant gain. So there you have it. As long as you get the Grizzly charger, I think, and it doesn't have any issues, and you don't have to do a return, it seems like a really nice unit. It's nice and robust. The whole metal body was another selling point for me. Because if something were to go bad inside the charger, now they say it's airtight, but you know, is it airtight in 2 years from now, 3 years from now? Does the seal start to diminish and maybe a little air starts to seep in there and something goes wrong and it does get hot and start on fire? I like that idea that that was a metal body on that charger because it's attached to my house. So I think that's a good thing. You know, I don't know exactly how all of that pans out if something, you know, when something goes wrong, but to me that made sense that it was an all metal casing on there, for that just in case situation. So there you go. As far as would I buy again, I think I would. I think I can put past that situation of having the bad one. They are, you know, it's like everybody has issues from time to time, and not everything's going to be perfect. So I'm going to say, yeah, let's keep giving them a chance. Yeah, I would buy from them again. They do have a mobile charger that they're coming out with. You can pre-order it right now. That's kind of interesting. It's basically just a little smaller version of what I showed you. That might be something to look into, because that said that it could also go to 40 amps. So that might be nice, you know, maybe if you're using your truck for pulling a travel trailer, and camping and that type of thing. So get a little bit more juice than what your mobile charger does. Anyway, there you go. There's my review of the GRIZZLE 40 amp charger, and I keep calling it a 40 amp even though it can go from 16 to 24, 32 to and 40 depending on what you want. But so far with the second one, so good. And there you go. Thanks for watching.